Are you sure they're not outside?
They're gone, Frank. John saw his chance, and he took Neil right from under my nose. I am so stupid!
All right, call 911. They can't be far. I'll go check the street.
Yes, I want to report a kidnapping. My ex-husband just took my son.
Did the mommy alligator think you were going to try and steal her babies?
No, I don't know. We didn't hang around to find out. You know, alligators are really fast, but you should have seen Lucy. She was off like a shot. She was just running.
I was my favorite patient.
Grandpa, I'm fine.
I'm so glad to hear that, honey. Scott, can I have a word?
Yeah, okay. Serena, I'll be right back. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Dr. Mullins with orthopedics. Dr. Christopher Mullins with orthopedics. I never did like that look on your face. What's up?
Well, the trial is beginning to go very well for Julie. Eve is another story, though, and so are you.
Right, I have heard this one before.
After Chris Ramsey, I'll be calling Eve, and then you, to testify.
All right, this is where I have the choice of the two evils.
Time to fish or cut bait, Scott. Either you tell the truth about Eve, or you perjure yourself.
Why is everything always clear in black and white?
Consider Serena, Scott. Is protecting Eve worth watching your daughter grow up with you behind bars?
I cannot wait to get out of here.
You want to testify first? Be my guest.
You know, Chris, have you ever heard that story about quicksand? If you ever get stuck, you just lift your legs slowly up and lie on your back, and then you won't sink.
Is that before or after you're in over your head? Stick to our story, Eve. It's the only way we both get out of this mess.
Or go to jail for perjury.
Look, nothing is going to stop Lee from nailing you and Scott about what you did with that bracelet. Now, the fallout from that is containable, but if you and I dump each other as alibis for Devlin's murder, we're toast.
Everyone will know we're lying.
But they can't prove it, and that's all that matters.
Listen, I have spent enough time in jail already. I am not going to do any more for perjury, okay?
How about for murder?
I haven't killed anyone.
Like that matters? Eve, look, you're right. We're both swimming in quicksand. And the only way we'll survive is if we don't pull each other down. No sign of John's car.
They're probably halfway to the airport by now.
Wait. The cops are here. They can alert the airport.
I have to go find my son, Frank.
I know. Courtney, let the cops get in on this, and then I'll take you wherever you need to go.
Courtney Knaller?
Yes.
I'm Officer Odell.
I called 911.
You reported a kidnapping?
Yes, my ex-husband, John Canelos, Kanelos, just took my son.
What's the boy's name and description?
Neil, 7 years old, 4'4", brown eyes, brown hair. He was wearing a Yankees jacket, tan khakis, a red baseball cap.
And when was the last time you saw him?
About half an hour ago.
And...
Listen, I know that doesn't seem like a long time, but my ex-husband was threatening to take custody of Neil.
And then next thing you know, they're both gone without a word.
And the ex doesn't live in the U.S. He might be trying to get the boy out of the country.
What kind of car was Mr. Canelos driving?
A red sports car.
Dispatch, this is Unit 24. We have a possible kidnapping.
Mom! Neil! Mom! Neil!
Courtney, is something wrong?
Where have you been?
We went out for a second.
Ever heard of leaving a note, asking permission, saying goodbye?
It's been a misunderstanding.
Mr. Canelos, your ex-wife reported you took your son without her permission.
But I did say we were leaving.
Dad said he yelled at Frank and you in the kitchen. I guess you didn't hear.
Sweetie, why don't you go upstairs and let the grown-ups straighten this out, okay?
Okay. But we only wanted to surprise you.
I'll be right up. Surprise. Look, we were out a little bit longer than I expected, but it's very difficult to find these. They're Courtney's favorite.
Who do you think you're kidding, John?
Courtney.
Mr. Canellis, if you don't want to be arrested for kidnapping, I suggest you improve your communication skills where your son is concerned.
Of course.
Ma'am, are you okay?
I'm fine. I can handle this from here.
All right, will you call us again if you need us?
Thank you.
You sure do like a bit of drama. But I understand your protectiveness where Neil is concerned. I apologize if I worried you.
Save it. You don't mean it, and I don't buy it.
As if it's any business of yours.
I'm making it my business.
Oh, how gallant. What haven't you told me about you and Frank, Courtney?
All you need to know about me is that I will smash your face in if you ever pull anything else like you did today.
You won't. You will never get the chance to hurt that child again, John. Is that clear?
Dad! The computer's on! Come up and see my game!
I'm on my way. Wild horses couldn't keep me away.
You got company.
I hear there is a patient in here who aced her operation. Would that be you?
I'm the only one in here.
Well, Vanna, tell her what we have behind door number 1 for super kids who come through surgery with flying colors.
We have Sailor Moon and the Scouts Lunar Rock CD. Woohoo!
Thank you, guys. Sailor Moon.
Well, it's good to see you back here in one piece.
Thank you, Joe.
Joe, guess what my daddy did?
I bet it's good to have him back here, huh? I bet that makes you feel better than ever.
It does. I'm tired, though. Daddy, can I listen to my new CD, please?
Well, okay. But I bet you fall asleep with your headphones on.
I will not. That's a 5 cents.
5 cents? You got it. Come here.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
So, Scott, it must be nice to be among the living again, huh?
Yes. Well, news of my death was greatly exaggerated.
I think you just won 5 cents.
Mm-hmm. I knew it. I knew it. Well, hopefully I'll be here when she wakes up.
Wait, where are you going?
Let's go outside.
Okay.
Dr. Smith, 5017. Dr. Don Smith.
Lee wants me to testify in Julie's trial.
What?
Why would Lee want you to take the stand?
Because if I can say anything that's incriminating about Eve, the jury's gonna look favorably on Julie.
Yeah, but after what was found in Eve's closet, Lee shouldn't have a hard time making Eve look like evil incarnate.
Yeah, she also bailed on her subpoena.
Which isn't how an innocent person acts.
You know, nobody knows why people do what they do.
It's hard to buy that Eve or Julie is the killer.
Well, if neither one of them is guilty, that means the murderer is out there still somewhere, free as a bird.
You know, I hope that makes him complacent so he makes a mistake and the cops can just catch him.
No, that'll never happen. This person is too smart.
Well, I just want this whole thing over with. The trial, everything.
Lee must realize how terrible it is for you to testify against Eve.
Yeah, but Lee is a good lawyer. He wants to get his client off. If that means putting me up on the witness stand and taking my head off, he'll do it like that.
Dr. Ramsey, would you describe your relationship to Eve Lambert?
We're colleagues.
You rent a room to her in your apartment, don't you?
Yes.
Well, Miss Lambert was scheduled to testify, but she's failed to show. Would you tell the court, please, what you know about her disappearance?
Well, there's not much to tell. I came home and she was gone.
Had she packed her things?
Yes.
Well, where did she go?
I don't know. Guess I must have missed the note on the refrigerator.
Did you do anything to find Miss Lambert?
I made a few calls to her friends and family.
They tell you where she was?
No.
Did you look for clues in any other places?
I checked out her room.
What did you find in Eve Lambert's closet?
Hangers, shoebox.
Oh, nothing unusual, huh? No, secret compartment or safe, huh?
There was a loose panel, but I doubt Eve knew it was there.
You can't say what Dr. Lambert knew. Now, what did you find behind that loose panel? You're under oath, sir.
I found pictures of the people murdered by the general homicide killer.
Picture of, Bennett Devlin?
Yes.
Jake Marshak and Cassandra May and Grace Sullivan?
Yes.
Did you find anything else in that cache beside the pictures?
There was a hospital ID, a key ring, and a gold comb.
Just personal items.
You could say that.
Whose ID?
It was Jake Marshak's.
And was there a name on the key ring?
Yes. Grace.
How about the comb? Were there any identifying marks on the comb?
I believe the initials CM were engraved on it.
As in Cassandra May?
I couldn't presume to say.
Dr. Ramsey, what did you do with these items after you found them?
I threw them away.
Defense would like to enter these items as Exhibit F, Your Honor. And, you know, judging from their content, it would appear that you did more than just throw them away.
I burned them.
You burned these items that we have just entered into evidence.
Yes.
Then what?
I put the remains in a trash bag and threw it away in a hazardous waste receptacle at the hospital.
Why did you do that?
I was unnerved that those things were in my home. I overreacted.
Wasn't it your intention to cover for your friend Eve Lambert?
I wasn't covering for anyone.
Weren't you trying to destroy the evidence that would expose Eve Lambert as a killer?
Objection. Argumentative.
Withdrawn. We know that's what you did.
Objection.
Sustained.
5-minute recess, Your Honor.
You sure can't pick him, Courtney. Your ex-husband is about as sleazy as they come.
Don't start with me, Frank.
Hey, I'm with you on this one. I don't like that guy if they're working Neil any more than you do. What's with these?
Sterling roses. I carried them in my wedding bouquet. You can guess what he's getting at.
Yeah, he's playing you.
Well, it's all just this big game to John. He wanted me to know what it will feel like when he takes Neil from me.
And you dumped Joe for this guy.
The single biggest mistake I've made in my life. But John had everything I had always dreamed about. He had money and power, prestige. I was just this kid and he wanted me. I was dazzled. We traveled in his private jet. We dined with amazing people.
I guess they don't teach small-town girls about Euro trash. You always wanted the brass ring, now you got it. Why'd you two break up?
It's hard to explain.
Why don't you give it a shot, Courtney? I'm sure Frank would understand.
Some things should stay between us.
Oh, we're all adults here. Adults make mistakes. I'm here in Port Charles to own up to mine. What about you, Courtney? Don't you think confession is good for the soul?
It's a nice girl like you doing in a place like this.
Waiting to get out. I hope you didn't use up too many of your lives looking for me.
Well, let's see. There was a plane crash. There was alligators. There were snakes, and I hate snakes. And there was a hurricane. So that's I got 3 left.
How's Serena?
No complications. We won't know, of course, until the bandages come off, whether she can see or not.
Yeah, I'm praying for her.
I know.
Scott,
So,
I
let me
just no.
say this
Let me
first.
do it first, please. Okay.
All right.
I never intended for you to go on some wild goose chase looking for me, and then when your plane went down.
It's not your fault, okay? I was just trying to find you before the cops did, and you ended up with this city jail on your shirt.
Thanks. I hear that Lucy went with you.
Yeah, well, you know, Lucy, when she puts her mind to something, you know, she's, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure she probably thought she could do a better job than the cops. You know what, Scott, I've never been one to beat around the bush, so I'm just gonna come right out and say this. I heard you and Lucy slept together.
Kevin,
Well, he just wanted to prepare me in case I had any wrong impressions about us.
Well, listen, Eve, I don't want to lie to you about anything.
I know. And you know what, really, it's none of my business anyway. We're not together anymore. It's okay.
It's all right. It's just that, there are things that we have to talk about.
You know what? Now is not the time. Now is definitely not the time. Have you heard the latest?
No, I'm afraid to ask.
Well, they found rope fibers from the rope used to kill Jake in my suitcase.
Well, either this is a setup, or you're just a sloppy killer and you want to get caught.
Do you see what I mean? Is this not absurd? The next thing you know, they're going to find a body with a tag on it saying, "Hi, Eve killed me." You know? It's ridiculous. What are you going to say on the stand?
I'm more concerned about what you're going to say.
I'm going with Chris as my alibi. No one can break it if Chris keeps his end of the bargain.
That's not necessarily true.
Dr. Ramsey?
Doesn't a recess mean I get a break from you, counselor?
Would you like a helpful warning?
Do I have a choice?
Your alibi for Devlin's murder is phony. You know it, and so do I.
You're misinformed, counselor.
You stand by that lie, you'll go to jail for perjury. Now, don't go down on that sinking ship.
Neil's fine.
You don't honestly think I would hurt him?
You don't want me to answer that.
How did things get so horrible between us? Maybe you can shed some light on this.
Don't.
You know...
Don't you dare turn this around on me. You're the one who wanted the divorce, John.
Something I deeply regret. I miss you and Neil.
If you really cared one bit about Neil, then why did you wait so long to come to him, John? Karen called you months ago to tell you how sick he was.
Perhaps we can discuss this privately. We both have plenty to say on that subject.
Yeah, stop trying to weasel out of this. Where were you when your kid was sick?
Be honest, Courtney. You didn't want me to come.
But Neil did.
You didn't want to be found once you left Europe. Now, did I have any right? Could I be justified in showing up? Making your life that much more complicated? You had to take care of your son. I understood that. And I've had a wonderful time being with him. And with you. Don't give up on us. After all, Neil needs a father. You tell him I'll see him soon again.
Eve, come on, let me just make this as simple as possible. If you lie on the witness stand, there's no turning back. It is a felony.
The defense can't prove my alibi is false. Chris is going to back me up.
Eve, Lee may seem to you like a nice, warm, fuzzy old grandfather, but let me tell you something. He's a cutthroat. He'll come at you like a shark. He will get the truth out of someone.
I'm not worried about Chris. The only wild card here is you. Have you decided what you're going to tell Lee?
Where were you when Bennett Devlin was murdered?
In the on-call room of General Hospital.
Were you alone?
No, I was with Eve Lambert.
What were the two of you doing?
I was applying an ice pack to her face.
She was injured. How?
Bennett Devlin punched her.
Did you witness this altercation?
Yes.
And to the best of your knowledge, this was right before he was murdered?
Yes. But as I said, Eve and I were together in the on-call room when that happened. He was alive last time we saw him.
Did anyone see the two of you together in the on-call room at the time Bennett Devlin was being murdered?
I have no idea.
Anyone pass you in the hallway? Anyone see you go into the on-call room?
Don't recall.
So there is no third party who can swear that they saw you and Eve Lambert together at the time Bennett Devlin was being murdered?
Not that I know of.
You telling the truth?
Objection. Badgering.
Your Honor, we've already shown that this witness has a predisposition for covering for Dr. Lambert.
I'll allow it. You may answer the question.
I'm telling the truth.
Perjury is a felony, Dr. Ramsey. Carries a maximum sentence of 15 years.
I'm telling the truth.
I will ask you again. Were you with Eve Lambert in the on-call room at the time Bennett Devlin was murdered?
Yes, I was.
This is Lisa McCree. Tomorrow, John Glenn counts down to his blast-off. Plus, Willie Nelson sings and Chef Emeril Lagasse cooks. That's tomorrow on Good Morning America.